Happy Friday, everybody. It is day 5 already. We've covered so much this week, and I'm just so excited about all the results we've been seeing, all the people sharing that their blood sugars responded really well to what we taught you this week. Hi, Peaches, Carol. Who else is with us? Go ahead and say hi in the chat. Um, and TGIF, happy Friday, everybody. Teresa, Steve, Kelly, hi. Cynthia, Lisa, Colleen, Tom. I love that so many of you guys, I'm starting to recognize your names now. Hi, Greg, Sandra, Donna, Julie, Jill, Farah, Roger, Catherine, Jana. I can't even keep up, you guys. Well, welcome back. Happy Friday. Really excited for today, but also just really appreciate you guys spending time with us this week. It has been really fun for me and Callie and Tiana to hang out with you guys all week. And it's been really fun to see you guys getting such awesome results in your blood sugar readings so quickly. Yes, happy Friday. Um, we'll dive in just a minute here, but I want to give everybody a minute to find our day 5 training. I guess before we dive in, I'll make my announcement every time at the beginning of these calls. I should remember to do this. But the replays for day 1 through 5, each of our daily replays, can be found at the top of the 5-day challenge Facebook group under the featured tab. And I wanted to say that one more time because I also know that we have people joining late. For example, we even had people joining the challenge this morning. So we're going to be playing a little bit of catch up. Hi, Callie. So you guys, we want to put a face to Callie's name. You've been seeing her this week supporting you in the Facebook group along with Tiana. So Callie's going to join me for today's live. So kind of fun. We get an extra special guest. Callie, you want to give everybody a little introduction?
Yeah, hi everyone. In the Facebook group, my name's Callista. So you probably see it that way. I go by Callie, and I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm a second late because we actually, Mallory will talk about it more, but we host these weekly, multiple times a week support Zoom calls, and I just finished one with our members. I'm the lead nutritionist for the Type 2 Transformation Program, which we'll talk about today. I've absolutely loved getting to see what you're all eating and seeing your aha moments and the mind blowing moments. It's been really special and really fun. And yeah, just excited to hear about the offering today and get some more progress and see incredible results with type 2 diabetes, because we like to say it's really a disease that's passed down on the table. And when you change what's on the table, you change how your body feels and functions in the expression of that disease. So we're really, really excited today. I'm honored to be here with all of you.
Yay. Everyone's saying hi. I don't know if you have the chat pulled up, Callie.
I'm going to pull it up right now.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Yeah, it's been a busy morning for Callie because she just got off a Zoom call with probably about 30 of our members in the Type 2 Transformation Program. Callie's Friday morning calls are very fun. It's a good way to kick off the weekend. So yeah, I see you guys sharing. Laura says, Mallory, these 5 days have been life-changing. Thank you. Again, thank you all for being here and spending this week with us and showing your dedication to turning this around. So I hope you all know that this is very reversible. And yeah, we have more to share with you today, but we've covered a lot this week. So without further ado, we're 4 minutes after the hour. We've got lots of comments rolling in. I think we can go ahead and start our day 5 training. Because we have a lot to cover today and also a very special opportunity to continue working with us inside the Type 2 Transformation Program. Because this 5-day challenge was just 5 days. It was just a taste of what we do supporting our clients. So there's an opportunity to continue working with us. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about that. So we're going to be talking about that today. But first, I think today we're going to start by kind of doing a recap of what we learned this week to really cement it into your brains so that you can continue getting results moving forward. So what we learned this week from the very beginning on day 1 of this challenge, you learned how to test your blood sugar, not guess, right? So most people are told to test their blood sugar like maybe just after meals or first thing in the morning or maybe before they go to bed at night, but they're not told to test before and after a meal to determine how that particular meal impacts their blood sugar. So you guys learned that this week, and I'm telling you, if there's one thing you can do for your blood sugar, it's doing the before and after testing. You don't have to do it with every single meal, but whenever you're curious, that's going to allow you to put the pieces together and determine which foods do and don't spike your blood sugar. You also learned this week that you can eat big meals without the big blood sugar spikes. So we really wanted to compare from day one what maybe the dietary advice you were given by your doctor or a dietitian or a diabetes educator or the American Diabetes Association. We asked you to test a meal from those recommendations on day one. And then day two, throughout the rest of the week, we asked you to follow our guidelines. And almost everyone here saw a really dramatic decrease in their blood sugar before and after readings. So again, we're aiming for less than a 30-point increase from anything that you eat. And it seems that almost everybody here was able to do that. And if you follow the guidelines that we gave you, your blood sugar should not spike more than 30 points. So that was really fun to kind of let you guys see firsthand. Again, the cool thing about the before and after testing is you don't have to trust us blindly, and you don't have to trust anyone else. We understand that there is a lot of conflicting information out there. I see recommendations to go plant-based for diabetes. I see recommendations to go keto for diabetes. I see recommendations to eat Mediterranean and everything in between. And what you learned this week kind of gives you the power to determine for yourself. Your numbers don't lie. We also discussed why medications aren't the real solution to type 2 diabetes. And and you guys, one of your assignments this week was to Google your medication. So we really learned how to harness the power of insulin to reverse insulin resistance, which, by the way, again, the opposite of insulin resistance being insulin sensitivity. I hope that's like a new buzzword for everybody here. So the goal is insulin sensitivity. So you guys learned how to harness the power of insulin to achieve insulin sensitivity. In other words, to reverse insulin resistance and put diabetes in remission. And you guys learned, unfortunately, that most diabetes meds are doing you a big disservice because they're increasing your insulin levels. Callie, did I miss anything or anything you want to add to like what we covered this week, or any big?
No, I think the biggest takeaway is very often someone will say, well, what about this? Can I have this? Test it. Don't even listen to Mallory. Don't listen to us. Go test it, right? Do your finger stick pre-meal, wait 60 to 90, do your finger stick post-meal and see what happens. And the results will speak for themselves. The data will be there. It's not going to lie to you. It's not even us being biased. Let your blood do the talking. So I think that's a really powerful takeaway from this week.
I love that. Yeah, exactly. I know. And I really loved seeing those of you saying, later or throughout the challenge saying, we had members saying, hey, I want to test a Diet Coke. You guys know how we feel about it, but take our opinion off the table. Test it. We're always going to encourage you guys, test it. No harm, no foul. At the end of the day, it's your body, your choice. We've put together the information so that if we've gained your trust, you can take what we've taught you and run with it. But also, you don't have to do that. You can kind of test for yourself and navigate on your own also. So it's very, very empowering what you guys learned this week. I do see questions rolling in, you guys. And at the end of today's training, we do have a good chunk of time for Q&A. So just keep your questions till the end, and we're going to do our best to get through what we want to cover today first, and then we'll go through Q&A, I promise. And again, the replay will be available if you have to leave early. So just remembering, guys, the number one thing that you have to know if your goal is to reverse insulin resistance and put diabetes in remission is that anything that raises our blood sugar raises our insulin levels. And it's the high insulin levels, the consistently chronically high insulin levels that's causing you to become insulin resistant. It's just like the alcohol analogy. It's the daily intake, the daily high intake of alcohol that causes someone to become resistant or build up a tolerance to it. Same thing can be said of insulin and insulin resistance. And so in order to reverse the insulin resistance, we have to keep your insulin levels low. So we're reverse engineering that process using diet and lifestyle strategies, which we barely scratched the surface of this week. But we've shown you guys how to get your blood sugar down so your insulin levels will follow. So if you stick with this consistently, you can expect that your blood sugar and A1C will continue to come down, and you'll be very happy with your results and can get off some of these meds, because I know a lot of you guys are on lots of medications. So you guys, for day 4, we sent you guys a diabetes symptom questionnaire. It's okay if you didn't take it, but you're also welcome to, it's still available to you if you want to take it. But I wanted to share some of the results with you all, because I want those of you watching right now to know that you're not alone if you're experiencing some of these symptoms of type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. So one of the questions I asked was, how long ago were you first diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, which we also learned this week is the same thing. It's just a less progressed version of type 2. Okay. I disagree. I don't think there's anything about pre-diabetes. But a whopping 30% of you, almost a third of you here, have been dealing with this for over a decade. And I know when I sent a poll out in the Facebook group before the challenge started, a good chunk of you guys have been dealing with this for over 20 years. So that's a really, really long time to be dealing with something that's actually reversible. Another about 20% of you said 5 to 10 years. So that's about 50% of this group right here that's been dealing with this for 5 years or longer. A reversible disease for 5 years or longer. That's just a really long time. And those of you who were just diagnosed, we're equally happy to have you here, because we can just nip this in the bud, right? And then another question we asked was, are you currently taking any diabetes or blood sugar medications? About 36% of you guys said no, but then a whopping 35% of you guys said you're taking 2 or more diabetes medications. And actually, I love this. I love that you guys are sharing in the chat. So share in the chat so that, you guys can all relate to each other. How long ago were you first diagnosed with diabetes or pre-diabetes, either or? And how many medications are you currently taking for diabetes? So a lot of you guys are taking 2 or more, and that's very common to start with metformin, and then you don't address the underlying issues. So your insulin resistance gets worse, your numbers start climbing higher. Doctor prescribes a higher dose of metformin, then a stronger medication, then a third medication, a fourth medication, an injection. Next thing you know, you've been at this for a very long time and you're on many medications. And I'm seeing people saying 30 years, I'm seeing someone said they're on 4 medication 2 years ago, 2 meds, right? And so it's just, again, it's something that we can put a halt to and reverse. So just because you're on medications now doesn't mean you have to be on them forever. Just because you've been at this for 20 or 30 years doesn't mean you can't turn this around. It's never too late to turn this around. And then on the symptom questionnaire, we asked you to rank your symptoms on a scale of 1 to 5. And so one of them was, do you have difficulty losing weight? And we talked about the connection between weight gain and insulin. The hormone insulin is a fat storage hormone. When insulin is high, we cannot burn fat, we can only store it. And so that's the connection between people with insulin resistance, which means they have high insulin levels, and obesity and weight gain, or difficulty losing weight. And so 53% of you ranked that at a 5, and another 17% of you ranked that at a 4. So that's what? Almost like something like 70% of you guys raised your hand and say, yep, I have difficulty losing weight. So this is incredibly common. But also this is exactly why what we're teaching you to get your insulin levels down also results in weight loss. This is why the testimonials and the success stories that we've been sharing with you this week, and I'm going to share more today, that's why they experience not just a reduction in their blood sugar and A1C, but they're also dropping weight, lowering inflammation, all kinds of things. Callie, also feel free to just unmute yourself anytime you want to piggyback off anything I'm saying.
I'm just deep in the chat right now responding to people, and you're rocking it per usual, Mallory. But yes, I absolutely will unmute it if the time comes for it. You got it.
Okay, cool. And then tendency to carry weight in the midsection. You guys, basically 75% of you rank that at a 5 out of 5. This is a very common symptom of insulin resistance is a tendency to carry weight right in the middle, and that's where body fat is most damaging. That visceral fat around our organs and in our organs is so much more damaging to our health than the fat in your thighs or the fat in your arms, right? So it's really that visceral fat right around the midsection that's doing a lot of harm, and it's really common when it comes to type 2 diabetes and prediabetes. Trouble sleeping, and I made note that this includes waking up to use the restroom. We really should be able to fall asleep at night, empty our bladder, go to bed, and then not have to get up to use the restroom until we wake up in the morning, unless you really chugged an excessive amount of water. And so another 56% of you guys rank that at a 4 or a 5. And I want to also know, I didn't talk about that I didn't talk about sleep this week. We talked a lot about the circadian rhythm one day. But sleep deprivation has a really negative impact on blood sugar. So sleep deprivation, I mean, there have been really interesting studies where they take a group of people with no history of diabetes, metabolically healthy people. This is the equivalent of taking Callie and I, and they sleep deprive them for a week. They don't even, it's not total sleep deprivation. It's just they short sleep them. They don't give them the full 7 to 8 hours. And over time, those people, in less than a week, their blood sugar starts testing as if they're diabetic. So they start waking up in the morning and having fasting blood sugar over 100 when the week prior they were in the healthy normal ranges. So sleep is super important. And so it's almost like it goes both ways. It's like having type 2 diabetes, having insulin resistance causes poor sleep, but the poor sleep also drives up your numbers. So it kind of goes both ways.
It's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yes.
You know, it definitely drives it. But as we've heard, like, insulin resistance is at the root cause of so many comorbidities, of so many ailments, of so many symptoms that we're experiencing. Once we can control and become more insulin sensitive, the shifts that we can experience are truly life-changing, and they are a transformation.
Yes. So the next one here on my screen is low energy, fatigue, and or brain fog. So, I mean, how many of you guys here would like more energy? Maybe you feel like you're holding up okay, but I think everybody here would agree, like, it would be nice to have a little more energy. I know a lot of the people we work with have grandkids. And man, kids take a lot of energy. Callie's got a 2-year-old. And every time I'm around my nieces and nephews, I feel worn out. So I can't imagine being someone in my 50s, 60s, or 70s, which tends to be the age group that we work with, and trying to keep up with these grandkids that you love so much. So having low energy, fatigue, and or brain fog. Again, we talked about type 3 diabetes being dementia and Alzheimer's, right? Yeah, I see lots of people saying that they would love to have more energy. So now we want to share some of our beautiful client success stories. This is Laura. I know that you guys love hearing all these success stories. So we wanted to be sure to sprinkle some of them in. Laura's actually been joining the challenge this week. So I don't know if she's here in the chat today, but you maybe have seen Laura's name popping around in the Facebook group. And when Laura met us, Laura actually started with this 5-day challenge. What do you think, Callie? Like, was it 6 months ago or longer at this point? Time really flies.
No, she's at like, she joined us in October. So it's going on 9 months, I'd say now. Okay. 9 months of being with us, I believe.
Okay, awesome. So Laura started with the 5-day challenge about 9 months ago. Never heard of us, joined the Facebook group, did the 5-day challenge. And what's interesting about Laura is that she was plant-based for over 20 years. And her A1C kept climbing higher. And at its highest, it was 10.4 while following a strict plant-based diet. She chose to she wanted to avoid the medications. And she's really a health nut. If you meet Laura, she's into yoga and goat yoga, and she's getting her teacher training to become a certified, is it a chair yoga teacher?
Yes, chair yoga. Yes.
Yeah.
And she's a body worker. She's a licensed massage therapist. So she gets it. She's holistic. She's functional. She's health oriented. But what she was doing was the opposite of healthy for her body.
Right. So she was eating healthy plant-based foods. Right? Like, yeah, we say healthy. But her A1C was off the charts, and she was unable to get it down following a plant-based diet. And so she did the 5-day challenge. She decided, okay, I care more about my health than I do about, calling myself a plant-based person or whatever comes along the reasoning behind that. And I understand that there are many reasons a person might decide to go plant-based, but Laura was willing for her health to turn things around. She started by introducing some eggs, introduced some poultry, introduced some seafood. I think that was kind of the order of operations, or maybe seafood and lastly poultry. Today, we're very proud of Laura. She'll throw down a steak, she'll throw down, all kinds of food. But her A1C journey went from 8.4 to 6.2 to 5.2, you guys. She just completely knocked it out of the park. So she made massive progress in just 7 months after dealing with this for a very long time. She reversed her non alcoholic fatty liver disease. So, those of you who have been diagnosed with fatty liver, a plant based diet didn't do it, right? And her rheumatoid arthritis, so her really painful, severe inflammation was put in remission. Callie, do you want to piggyback off of any of that? Because you know Laura really well.
She was in a knee scooter for years.
Mhm.
She had such horrible arthritis in her knee. She could not physically walk. She couldn't do her job of massaging people. Her hands
Right.
would lock up. Her joints were in so much severe pain. Laura's the most positive, glass half full person, and she was in a dark place. And then came to us and was open minded enough to say, well, what I've been doing hasn't been working. Let me truly 180 it. Let me trust these women on the internet and see if they're the real deal. And she's has an A1C equivalent to Mallory's and mine. I mean, completely in remission. She's put type 2 in remission, no signs of the disease in her blood. She's lost significant amount of weight. She has more energy than ever. And her husband is on insulin injections. Leo, we love Leo, love to Leo as well. And he has come down on a bunch of his insulin as well. Energy up, more energy for work. He's very hands-on and active. So this program, what you learn, it's like tentacles. You spread your tentacles and you start to influence your family members around you, your children, your grandchildren, your brothers and sisters and such. And it's truly a powerful program. And Laura's a great testament. I mean, look at her face. Look at the inflammation that she's lost. It's incredible.
Right. Right. And inflammation is a big one for a lot of you guys. And I cannot express how many people experience a huge reduction in their inflammation, whether that's something like arthritis or just having the achy bones at the end of the day, or the inflammation in the face. I mean, that's one of the first things that I notice because I don't meet these people in person. I meet them over Zoom calls. And so when we show up on Zoom, it's really cool to see, like, wow, you just look more vibrant, you look healthy, you're less swollen. Like, I mean, it's very obvious to us. And then we've
Mallory,
got,
everyone in the go ahead.
go ahead.
Everyone in the chat is saying Laura's story gives me so much hope.
Yes.
Oh wow, what a powerful story. Laura's story is great. And this is a real person. This isn't a made up story. These are real humans having a positive impact on their blood sugar by simply really making some diet and lifestyle shifts. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys, we see these stories every single week, which is such a blessing for us and so rewarding for us, is that we have about a little over 300 members right now. And so we have people always getting their A1C done and coming to us on our Zoom calls each week and sharing these stories. So this is just a fraction. We wanted to share a variety of stories that maybe y'all could relate to. So that was Laura's story. That's from the plant-based perspective, right? And now we want to share a different story. This one's Pat. And Pat's story will resonate with those of you who have been dealing with diabetes for over 20 years, because when Pat found me, she had been dealing with diabetes for 29 years. She was on high amount of insulin injections along with a ton of other medications. Okay, so she was, of course, on metformin and a bunch of other oral medications for diabetes and blood pressure medications, and 140 units of insulin a day when we started together. So you can bet that Pat was very, very, very insulin resistant when we met a couple years ago. And this is an old quote from Pat, but she says, I was diagnosed in 1993. I followed all the advice only to put on weight and go on more and more medications. Before I started working with Mallory, I was on 140 units of insulin a day, close to 70 pounds over the weight I felt comfortable at. I was taking Actos, Trulicity, insulin, 3 blood pressure meds, GERD medications, and cholesterol meds. Okay, so I think that a lot of you are in that position where you're on many, many medications and have been dealing with this for a very long time. She says, I found Mallory and jumped in with both feet. I'm down 45 pounds. Again, this is old. Pat's lost more than 45 pounds at this point. She's on less than half of the insulin, and she's been able to, her doctor happily took her off Actos, Trulicity, and 2 blood pressure medications and her heartburn medications, the GERD pills, which that's a whole nother topic, but that's a big win in itself too. So she says, you've got so much to lose, meds, drugs, weight, but you truly have so much more to gain. And I'm really happy to report that Pat has not, these are not quick fixes. Pat's been with me for over 2 years at this point, and this whole time she has maintained an A1C between 5.6 and 5.9 for over 2 years, you guys. And she's maintained over 50 pounds of weight loss. I don't even know. I've lost track because Pat's been busy and I haven't seen her in a while, but I'm
She's at 65, but she weighs
wow.
between, I just asked her this week, 60 to 65 pounds lost total. She's at a weight that she weighed when she was like 32 years old, which she hasn't had for decades. Pat, I asked her specifically, how much insulin were you on when you started the program? 148 units was her base. And then she
Wow.
would also add 20 units per meal. So she would get up to 188 units, not every day, but at least 148 a day. And now she has a pump. It turns off most of the time during the day, and the max units she would take is around 42 units. And that's on a day where, more stressful things have happened. But Pat's remarkable and
Incredible.
such an amazing, like, contributor to our program as well. It's not just even Mallory and me, but also your fellow members and Tiana. It's everyone contributes. It truly feels like this family. We'll get into it. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
No,
I get excited.
I love that you mentioned that because it's true. Because again, we're going to give you guys an opportunity to continue working with us. But what's so special about it is that it's not just that you get access to Callie and I and Tiana, you get access to Pat and Laura and John and everyone else that we have been introducing you guys to this week. We've got Tammy in the chat right now just sharing how much she loves being part. She says it's her second family. We hear that all the time. So it's a very, very special and supportive group that you'd be joining. We also want to share Lisa's story because I don't very often get the before and after pictures that Lisa so generously shared with us. But I mean, look at this. On the left side is Lisa. I think it's like right when she started the type 2 transformation program. And then 7 months later, look at her transformation. So really, really cool. I like to always give Callie the floor because Callie got to know Lisa really well and on Zoom calls. And I don't know, you just have some special stories to share about Lisa.
You're so sweet, Valerie. No, I'm just a total bossy and gossip, and I love to get to know people very, very well. So does Mallory, though, just as much as I do. She's just wearing 1,000 hats, and I just wear a couple hats. So Lisa is incredible. She's a mom. She was hosting an Italian exchange student. I mean, the plates of pasta and pizza, and the exchange student is teaching her how to make these things. And, I think they live in the Oregon area, and they were going to take this incredible big hike is what I'm assuming. And prior, she would have never been able to hike the mountain with all her family and the exchange students. And since I think she's lost, around 70 pounds.
I think it was. And she's probably kept going. Yeah.
Yeah. She hiked it like she was a sprightly young thing, which she doesn't feel like she is, but she is. She does feel that way now. And Lisa has to keep up with being a mom to multiple children, and cooking for everyone. And she made it happen. She really made it happen. And she'll tell you herself, like, this has transformed her life. I mean, look at her. She was kind of more chair ridden, house ridden, to I'm hiking with my family. It's just remarkable. It's really remarkable what she's achieved.
Yeah, the quality of life, guys. This is a quality of life thing. If you don't feel like you can get up and go do the things that you love, then the quality of your life is suffering and it can be better. There's room for improvement. So here's just a quote from Lisa. She says, I'm grateful every day for finally putting myself first and taking the plunge and doing the program. My numbers were looking great and my A1C was down from a 7.1 to a 6.1 after 12 weeks, and I had lost 40 pounds. Imagine, you guys, if you could do something like that in 12 weeks after dealing with this for 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years. She says, my morning numbers are finally looking much better. The dawn phenomenon we talked about on day 1 is not to the extreme, and it comes down much faster, and I'm officially down 63 pounds at the time of this quote. So yes, I do know that Lisa's down over 70 pounds at this point. She says, I'm so grateful each and every day for this program, our wonderful leaders, and each and every one of you, talking to her fellow peers. She said, this truly is the best place for me. I also want to give a shout out to our members who are in our Type 2 Transformation Program members who are in the chat right now. I see Terry and Christine and Brandon and who else do we see, Callie? You have your eye on the chat more so than me.
Karen and Kelly and Tammy,
oh, hi,
Katrina, John, Janice. There's a lot of great members in here right now.
Yeah, and I gave a lot of them, I missed you, Karen K, but I gave a lot of them an expert badge so that you know who they are. So guys, if you're one of our Type 2 Transformation Program members, type T2T in the chat so everybody knows your name. So type T2T. I see Janice in there. Greg, yes. So just put a T2T in the chat so everybody can kind of know who's coming from, working with us. Debbie B is here. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys. Vivian's here. Cheryl's here. Oh, there's so many of you guys.
Couldn't forget Greg. Love you, Greg. Sorry about that. Greg's here too.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, so at this point, we want to ask our audience to do a little self-inquiry. Kelly's here. So a little self-inquiry, you guys. How long have you been struggling with this? We talked about a lot of you guys have been at this for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Jama's here. How is this affecting your life? Okay, again, quality of life. Are you able to play with your grandkids and get up and down off the ground? Is your arthritis so bad that you avoid exercise and walking and just activities that you might like, getting outside a little bit? So how is this affecting your life? What are your health goals? I love asking this question. So will you guys type in the chat? I want to hear from our audience. What are your health goals after doing this challenge? You know better than to play small. You guys know better than to feel like you have to stay on these medications for the rest of your life and your A1C is going to continue to climb. So what are your goals? Is it getting off some of these medications? Is there a certain A1C you would love? More energy, less inflammation. I know weight loss is a big goal for a lot of people, and I want to be clear that weight loss results vary, right? I shared with you guys yesterday that I said Pat's name and I didn't share her story yet. So Pat, when she joined us, her first 12 weeks, I think she lost 8 pounds. Yep, 8 pounds, Callie's saying. Yeah, so when Pat's first 12 weeks, she lost 8 pounds. At this point, she's maintained over 50 pounds of weight loss. But we have to remember that Pat's insulin levels were through the roof. And insulin's a fat storage hormone, so it was very hard for her to lose weight. But as we brought her insulin levels down, she was able to start burning off body fat. So I'm seeing all kinds of awesome goals in the chat: weight loss, decrease in inflammation, off meds. I want to feel better. I want to get off meds, less inflammation, drop 50 pounds. I love it. Yeah, these are exactly the kind of things we help people with.
I want to read what someone said. I stopped mowing my own yard this year. I had no energy. I'm thinking about John, who mows his yard like a champ twice a week. John, you should chime in here from Kathy. I want to have a normal A1C and be a healthy way. I want my energy back for long bike rides again. Kathy, you deserve it, and it's completely possible for you.
Absolutely. Of course, that made us think of John. I missed that comment, but John, If you guys didn't see our post yesterday and join the day 4 training, I shared John's story and I shared his before and after pictures as well. And we always tease John because he's like, how old is John?
He's 77 years old.
He's like reverse aging this guy, and he's just
Yeah,
lost tons and he's lost tons of weight, and he's out there mowing his lawn. Of course he's retired, so he's out mowing his lawn like 3 days a week, and he has a huge lawn, and he's like, wow, I mean, that's how he's getting his exercise now, and he loves it, and he's soaking up the vitamin D, and he's just such an inspiration for our group. And so, okay, you guys are claiming some awesome goals. I also want to ask you guys, how has our guidance this week made a difference? Okay, how has having the education and the accountability and the support and hand holding and have a team to ask questions, how has that made a difference for you this week? How do you see that making a difference in the future? Because I know a lot of people have tried going at this on their own for a very long time, and you just feel like you're spinning your wheels and not making progress. So how did it feel to have not only support from Callie and Tiana and I, but peers, you know?
Can I quickly read what Tammy, one of our members, says?
Please.
It's beautiful. I have permanent spinal cord injury, leaving me with inflammation and severe pain. I had surgery in 2021 on my cervical spine, tons of meds. When I found this group on here, since being a part of this group, which you put in family, off of meds for that, off metformin, 29 pounds down, inflammation and pain are gone, energy is increased, and she walks her dogs 5 times a day because her dogs are a little bit high maintenance and each one needs to be walked individually. Tammy, we love you and we're so glad you're part of this group and you're sharing your testimony. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Tammy. Oh, so awesome. And I'm seeing so many of you guys just saying, like, this has been such an amazing week. We're so glad to hear that. I love it, you guys. Thank you. Thank you again for spending time with us this week. So clearly that this week has made a difference, but we also want to be clear that there's a lot more than where that came from. I mean, we spent just 5 days, really 4 days. Today's just kind of a recap of what we learned. We spent just 4 hours with you guys this week. There is so much more to learn. We barely scratched the surface. And so that's where we're really excited to share how we can continue working with you all. So now you guys have a choice, and you guys are wondering what happens after the 5-day challenge. So the 5-day challenge was just a pop-up 5-day event. We're going to leave the replays up until Tuesday, but at this point you guys have a choice. You can take what you learned this week and continue navigating this on your own. Or there's a special opportunity today to continue getting results by joining us. So you guys have heard us say, hi, Dee Dee. Glad to hear you're still doing good. One of our graduates. So you guys have heard us talk a little bit about the Type 2 Transformation Program. At this point, we want to share what that is and what that looks like and give you guys all a special opportunity to join it. So the Type 2 Transformation Program is a 12-week step-by-step system I created to reverse insulin resistance using real food. So this is a real food, natural approach to Type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. The outcome of the program, the outcome of your 12 weeks with us is insulin sensitivity. Remember that buzzword. That is, insulin sensitivity is the one and only solution to Type 2 diabetes. And I can say that with absolute certainty. Not a single pill or injection or supplement on the market can do this for you. That power lies within you, and that's the outcome of the Type 2 Transformation Program that we've laid out for you. What you can expect is lower blood sugar in days. I think that Cynthia says she's in. Awesome. Lower blood sugar in days, okay, which you guys experienced this week. Fewer symptoms in weeks. So if you stick with what we teach you, you can expect that some of the symptoms I covered yesterday for the day 4 training, like the inflammation, like the high blood pressure, like all these symptoms, you can expect improvements in those, and then you can expect a lower A1C in 3 months flat. And for those of you guys who are like already ready to go, you don't need to hear any more information, maybe you need to get back to work today, Tiana's in the chat. She just dropped the link to join. So if you click the link that Tiana just dropped in the chat, you can join the Type 2 Transformation Program and you get immediate access to everything. So I just dropped the link as well, but I'm going to keep talking and sharing more about the program for those of you who might still be on the fence, okay? The other thing you can expect, so lower blood sugar in days, fewer symptoms in weeks, and a lower A1C in 3 months flat, okay? And the thing is, guys, that we're really proud of is that we have 99% success rates. We have 99% success rates in helping people lower their A1C in a 3-month time frame, often while reducing or eliminating their medications. And again, that's not us telling them to get off medications. That's their doctors. That's their numbers dictating that, hey, it's time to come off these medications. You don't need them anymore. So we have 99% success rates in helping people lower their A1C because this is such a targeted therapeutic approach, really geared at reversing insulin resistance. So it doesn't matter. I mean, most of our members have been in the game, in the diabetes game for many years. And for them to be able to turn this around in 3 months is just a huge testimony to how well this works when nothing else has. Just remember, insulin sensitivity, not a single pill, injection, or even supplement on the market can do this for you. This is exactly why we've laid out the program the way that we have. The whole program is geared at harnessing the power of insulin. So at this point, you guys are probably wondering, okay, like, how does this work? How do you guys have 99% success rates? Like, nobody has 99% success rates, right? The American Diabetes Association certainly doesn't, right? So how does the program work and what's included? So when you join the Type 2 Transformation Program, again, we're dropping the link for those of you guys who are ready to join. And I'll drop it one more time here. I will go over the cost. I want to go over what's included first. You get access to the 12-week proprietary method, right? A 12-week proven step-by-step plan. It's all bite-sized chunks, make it very easy for you. You get exclusive resources to go along with that you can't find anywhere else. So you get access to trainings, right? It's like a do-it-yourself, right? You can access this on your own time. So trainings and resources, cheat sheets, guides, recipes, lists, right? This is not meal plans, to be clear. This is customizable. You guys get to take the guidelines that we teach you, much like you did this week, and make them your own. You get 24-hour access to a private Facebook group. So just like you guys have been hanging out with us this week in the 5-day challenge Facebook group, which had thousands of members, we have a much tighter knit Facebook group just for members of the Type 2 Transformation Program, where you have access, again, to Callie, Tiana, and I. Very close-knit access to us. We're very responsive. And you get access to over 300 peers who have been in your shoes. They've gone before you. You're going to have people walking alongside you, and they're here to support you. And everybody wants to see each other succeed. Everybody's there to answer your questions and make sure that you feel well supported. And then we have multiple group coaching calls per week. So Callie and I are hopping on Zoom right now, but we're in presentation mode. If you join the program, you have an opportunity to join us on a Zoom call and have a back and forth conversation. You have an opportunity to type your question, ask your question, and have a back and forth conversation about it, hear from other members who are on the Zoom call. You can certainly keep your camera off if you're camera shy. You don't have to join the Zoom calls at all, but they are available to you. And we have members, those who you're seeing in the chat, show up for often multiple times a week. They show up for our Zoom calls. So again, this is a proven 12-week plan to reverse insulin resistance and gain insulin sensitivity. These are just an example of some of the resources that you'd get if you join the program. So cheat sheets, guides, like, again, what we gave you this week, I gave you a 3-column little cheat sheet of foods. That is not a comprehensive list, right? That's, again, for the sake, I'm not trying to hold anything back from you guys this week. We just don't want to fire hose you. You're not going to succeed if we fire hose you with information. You're going to be overwhelmed and do nothing. So we gave you a lot of information over the last 4 days. And yeah, but this is what's included in the program. You get a lot of resources, a lot of hand holding. The Facebook group is a great place to ask your questions, to celebrate your wins. And you're going to get lots of, feedback and support from other members as well as us. And then again, you get access to a team of functional nutritionists. So you'll get access to Callie, myself, and Tiana. And you guys got a taste of what that looks like this week. We've absolutely enjoyed supporting you guys. But again, it's different supporting thousands of people versus supporting a few hundred, right?
Cynthia's already joined us. Congrats to Cynthia. We're so excited you're in the program.
Guys, if you join us, come back in the chat and tell us. We are so, so excited. Okay, we're getting questions about how much the program costs. I'm going to get into that right now, okay? So just to put it in perspective, it was really hard to put a price tag on this, but just to put it in perspective, one-to-one sessions with myself or Callie or any other, most other nutritionists would be something like $250 an hour for a 1 week session. I mean, that can really add up. And this is actually a lower range. Callie and I don't even have the capacity to be doing one-on-one sessions because we're so all in with the group program. But what's included, you can see it adds up to quite a bit of money in the type 2 transformation program. You get a lot of support. I don't know anywhere that you can really have access, 24-hour access to post in a Facebook group and get answered by a professional and a bunch of peers, usually same hour, and then have lifetime access to resources and Monday through Friday access to Zoom calls. So the type 2 transformation program, 12 weeks of support is well over $5,000. You guys, we are not going to charge even close to that. We're not even charging half of that. Okay. It's not even $2,500. And I know a lot of you guys have joined programs with big promises and spent a lot more and gotten very little results. Normally the type 2 transformation program is $1,599. Okay. Almost $1,600. But we have a couple bonuses today that I promised. And so the first bonus is actually to enroll at a discounted price and save $150. So bonus number 1, guys, if you enroll right now, you can save $150, and we do have a payment plan option. So either it's a one-time payment of $12.49, okay? Or you could do a 3-month payment plan and break that investment up. So that would look like $483 a month. So basically, you guys can get enrolled today and get immediate access to the whole program for under $500. Pretty cool, right? But we have another bonus for you guys too. Our second bonus is even juicier. And I want to be clear that the bonus number 2 is going to expire as soon as we end our Facebook Live today. So bonus number 2 is that you get 1 additional month free. Okay. So instead of 12 weeks in the program, you get 16 weeks in the program. You get 16 weeks to work alongside all 3 of your functional nutritionists and a community of peers. So if you guys are ready to enroll right now, you can just click the link, you enter your payment information, and you get immediate access to everything. But I'll go over, like I said, I also promised that we would go through FAQs today. I know there's a lot of questions rolling in, so we're going to keep working our way through this. Callie, is there anything we need to add right now? Oh, you're muted, Callie.
Such a rookie mistake. People are wondering if they can pay with HSA, if we take insurance. Those are the 2 main questions coming up right now. Do you want to speak to that?
Perfect. Yeah, great questions. So we've had great success having people use their HSA, FSA, or flex spending accounts towards this program. I've actually never had any problems with that, but everyone works so differently that it's really kind of up to you to determine how your HSA or FSA works and whether or not it'll cover this. What I can promise you is that the receipt will be from Mallory Nowak Nutrition and Wellness. So it's very clear that it's a health related purchase. And a lot of times all you have to do is provide the receipt and they will go ahead and approve the purchase for you. As far as insurance goes, unfortunately, I think it's so unfortunate, but in most health insurance, or I don't think any health insurance will cover this. But those of you who do have a health savings account or flex spending account or something like that can often use that for this program. And if you need a letter of medical necessity from a doctor, then you can also email us. You can reply to any of our emails from this week, and I am happy to write your doctor a request for that letter of medical necessity. I will give them some more information about the program and why you're a good candidate. And then in hopes that they will write that for you, which they should. It shouldn't be any skin off their back. I also want to share a money back guarantee that we have. So again, I understand that you guys have often spent a lot of money on different things that didn't work. And you know, I really want to emphasize our 99% success rate. Because we came up with that number because I've literally had 2 members out of hundreds of people have joined the program, and I've had 2 members ever who did not see a reduction in their A1C after 3 months. And honestly, both of them were misdiagnosed with type 1.5 diabetes. And so they were not being treated properly for type 1.5, and we didn't know that. So our success rates are really, really high. But those of you who are on the fence, we do have a money back guarantee for you. And it's basically stating that if after you make a concerted effort, right, you decide that this approach is not right for you, then you can request a refund within the first 14 days. And we do have a non-refundable processing fee of $75, but otherwise you get your full investment back. So we're trying our best to take the risk completely off the table for you. Again, you enroll today, you get immediate access to everything. You get to join our Facebook group. We're going to introduce you to our members, and you're going to see how supportive the community is. You're going to be able to join our Zoom calls. You have access to all of it for 14 days. And if you're like, this is not for me, this is not going to work, then you can request a refund minus the $75 processing fee. But I do want to be really clear about who this is for and who this is not for, okay? And I see Peaches says she can't click the link. Those of you who are having a hard time clicking the link that we're sharing, maybe try copying and pasting it. Copy and paste it into your internet browser instead. I got doggies barking. But I want to be really clear about who this is and who this is not for. So, because we don't want you guys to join and not give it a fair shot. So we're trying to kind of eliminate those people and really focus on the people who are all in and ready to join. So this is for you if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels between those 3-month checkups. If you're ready to stop feeling nervous and have anxiety going into your next doctor's appointment, you guys, you should feel excited going in for your next A1C, right? You should feel confident that you're about to knock it out of the park. And that's how our members feel. So this is also for you if you want a proven plan to lower your A1C with 99% success rates. If you want daily access to a team of professionals and a supportive community of peers, and if you're dedicated to achieving the A1C of your wildest dreams and putting type 2 diabetes in remission, and putting an end for a lot of you to the generational curse that you've witnessed your parents and grandparents and great grandparents deal with, and your sisters and aunts and uncles, and put an end to that generational curse for your children and your grandchildren, right? Terry just joined. Yay, Terry. We are so excited to have you.
Welcome, Terry.
Awesome. Yeah, come back and tell us if you've joined, guys, so we can celebrate with you. And then I also want to be clear about who this is not for, okay? So this is not for those of you who are looking for a magic pill or a quick fix. It's that old adage, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink, right? Like, we can provide all the education and information in the world, but if you don't follow it, this is not a magic pill or a quick fix. And yes, Lori, the $12.49 is the price right now today with the $150 discount. And I want to be clear too that if you do the $12.49 option instead of the 3-month payment plan, you save even a couple hundred extra dollars. So it's actually a better deal to do the one payment of $12.49 versus the 3-month payment plan. This is also not for you if you're not open to doing things differently. Okay. Who just joined? Jana joined. Yay. Welcome, Jana. So yeah, if you're not open to doing things differently, we don't want people who have one foot out the door and they're going to say, yay, Gail joined. Awesome, Gail. We don't want people to have one foot out the door. So if you're not ready to fully commit because maybe you're seeing another nutritionist, like, maybe save it for later. Okay. But we absolutely, if you're open to doing things differently and we've earned your trust this week, which we really hope that we have, then this program can be a really good fit for you. And Carol just joined, Glennis just joined. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are so excited. And also, we've been bragging about you all this week to our 315 members. Donna joined. Yay, guys. And they are so excited to meet you all. Like, they know that we've got dozens of members coming into the group. So they're really excited for you and to see your transformation. This is not for you if you'd rather rely on medications and quick fixes to work their magic, right? So if you're still waiting, if you'd rather do this through medications and which are just artificially lowering your blood sugar and A1C, again, this is not a magic pill or a quick fix. I hate to say it. Oh, go ahead, Kelly.
There's a question about the payment options. Is the only way to pay through credit card?
Yes.
Yes, the only way to pay is through credit card.
Yeah. And there's multiple, I mean, we accept like all the major credit cards.
Right. I also want to can I quickly emphasize something that there's a lot of questions that are people, I get it. There's a lot of fake programs out there that you invest thousands and with no results. And that is heartbreaking to us. And that's unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
You get one-on-one support. We host live Zoom calls 5 days a week with Mallory or me. We're on every single day, Monday through Friday, to give you one-on-one support. When I came a minute late, it's because I was hosting a live Zoom call with a lot of these members who are on today on it. You can ask anything, problem solve anything, question anything, ask support from our nutritionists or even from your teammates. Or if you don't feel comfortable going on a call that doesn't feel right for you, we also live stream it into Facebook just like this. No camera up. You can ask questions there or anonymously ask questions in our members only Facebook group. We didn't allow questions here because there were 5.5 thousand of you. Can you imagine us trying to tackle all those? We have 315 current members. It's much easier to manage that with our nutritionists. So we truly do offer one-on-one support at the price of a group program. If you want to work with us one-on-one, it would be thousands more. Mm-hmm. So I really want to emphasize, you can have so many personal questions answered through our program, which is incredible.
Thank you so much for Kelly, because there's so much I'm covering that I forget to mention that. But yes, you have opportunities. Linda just joined. Linda, we have another Linda in our program right now who spells her name just the same as you. Yeah, you get one-on-one support in a group setting. I see questions rolling in about the coaching calls. We have the group coaching calls. Welcome, Glennis. Love that name. We have coaching calls 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Okay. And they're at a variety of times. And we've done that because we're all in different time zones. We've got clients from Alaska all the way to Florida and everywhere in between. Okay. So we have coaching calls in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. We've got a variety of times. And I want to be clear that those coaching calls are optional. You have 24-hour lifetime access to a membership site, which has all 12 weeks of lessons and resources. You have lifetime access to that 24/7. Okay, that never goes away. And then you get access to us. Yeah, Katrina's our client up in Alaska. Got to give you a shout out, Katrina. I knew you were here today. But yeah, we've got the group coaching calls available in all the different, a time zone that should work for everybody, but they're also optional. I want to be really, really clear. We have probably 50% of our members have never attended a single Zoom call. Yes, I will show the screen, Keith, with the payment options. Let me get through this. I'll finish this slide here. And so this is for you also. If you're dedicated to I already read that one. We can move on, right? You want to get diabetes in remission. You want to get this under control after dealing with this for a lifetime. This is not for you if you're vegan or strictly vegetarian. That's where I was at. If you're willing to eat some animal protein of some sort, we can make this work for you. So if you're willing to include eggs and seafood, I would recommend at least 2 protein sources. So if you're willing to include eggs and seafood, or eggs and poultry, or seafood and poultry, if you're willing to at least eat 2 sources of animal protein, we can make this work. But this program will not be a good fit for someone who's strict vegan or vegetarian. So I do want to be clear about that. And then
welcome to Tanya. Welcome, Tanya.
Welcome, Tanya. Awesome. We're so excited. And look how many of you guys have joined us. We are just hitting the hour mark here. So we're doing pretty good on time, I think. I've learned from doing this challenge, you guys are eager and not to draw this out. So this is also not for you if you're unwilling to take imperfect action, show up for yourself, and utilize your peers and team of nutritionists. We are not asking for perfection, and there's a lot of room for grace, okay? We understand that, I mean, we see people go through all kinds of trials and tribulations. Healing is not linear, and we just want you to know and be really clear that we don't expect perfection. Progress over perfection is one of our mottos that we use often. Okay, so here's what's on the table, guys. If you join before we end our Facebook Live today, which we're going to open up the floor for Q&A here in just a minute, but if you enroll before we wrap up today, you get both bonuses. So bonus number one, you save $150 whether you do the one-time payment for $12.49 or the 3-month payment plan. Both of those options are discounted $150 off. But you do save a little more if you do the one-time payment. And then bonus number two is that you get a whole nother month for free. So this is well over $1,000 in savings that's on the table right now if you join. So for those of you who would like to see these payment options again, if you enroll before we end this Facebook Live, you can enroll right now for either $483, so you pay that first payment and then it's a 3-month payment plan, or a one-time payment of $12.49, okay, which saves you even more money if you do the one-time payment. Okay, so now we're going to open up the floor. Anna joined. Welcome, Anna. Now we are going to open the floor for questions. And Callie, is there anything that comes to mind right off the hop that you've been seeing coming in the chat? And Tiana, you can also feel free to drop questions that you see. Lynette just joined. Welcome, Lynette.
I really like what Terry said. She's one of our members, our OG hardcore members. She does not miss a call. We love her and appreciate her. She's also a former nurse. She's a retired nurse, so she was in the medical world as well. She said, for those concerned about the cost, we get that. A large number of us are retired and on fixed incomes, but consider the amount of money you spend per month on some of these very expensive medications. Most people quickly come out ahead. You will, if you commit, you will quickly come off of insulin because you will get lows that are dangerous, right? Because we're not calling upon insulin the way we used to. So the money you are spending on those medications, you will save. The money you would spend on hospital visits, you will save. You are taking your health back into your hands, in control. You're in the driver's seat now, not your doctor, not this disease. You're in the driver's seat, and we'd love to support you and be in that passenger seat, cheering you along with all of our teammates as well.
Yes. Okay, guys, we're still dropping the chat for you, or the link for you all. I know it kind of gets lost in the zoo of comments. Sandra joined. Welcome, Sandra. And you guys, again, when you join, you click that link, you enter your payment information, you choose whether you want to do the 3-month payment plan or the one-time payment, which saves you even more money. And then you get immediate access to everything. You get immediate access
Lynette joined too. Sorry. Congrats to Lynette. We're so excited to have you, Lynette.
So then you get immediate access to everything. You get to log into the membership site and access all the week 1 through week 12 trainings that I've recorded for you. You get access to the Facebook group with all of our 300 plus members immediately. And then on Monday, you get to hop on Zoom with us if you want. You know, that's how it's going to work. We've already had our Zoom call for Friday. So Monday. Yeah. And so, Sue, okay, I wanted to be a good question. She says, can I join later today? So here's the thing, with the 2 bonuses. Bonus number 1, I didn't mention this and I'm sorry. Bonus number 1 is $150 off. It's going to be available until Tuesday at midnight. Maria joined, enrolled in the training program. Maria, if you join the Type 2 Transformation Program, welcome. We're so excited. You get immediate access to everything. So you can access the trainings on your own time, which is really cool. So bonus number 1, $150 discount is going to be available until Tuesday at midnight. So if you need to go talk to, maybe you have a spouse or a partner you want to talk to before making this investment, you can save that $150 until Tuesday at midnight. The bonus month is going to expire when we end this live training today. So those of you who want to take advantage of both, you'll want to go ahead and get enrolled today. So hopefully that clears that up. And someone said something about the if you get the bonus month and the 3 month payment plan, does that reduce the price? This is the discounted price. We're not going to charge you for the fourth month. So you get the bonus month, you get that fourth month, but you're only being charged for 3, regardless of whether you do the 3 month payment plan or the one-time payment. I don't know if I said that very clear. Callie, is there was that clear, do you think?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's a 3-month technical 12-week program with 12 weeks of lessons that you go through every week. You can attend the live Zooms, you can interact in the Facebook group, or you can just stick in the membership site and go through each lesson each week, all the lessons each week. Right now, until Tuesday, we're offering you a bonus month where you get a fourth month. So rather than 12 weeks, 16 weeks free. That extra month is just free. You don't pay for it. It's just a gift from Mallory and the Type 2 transformation. And you can stick with us the whole extra month to have extra access to the calls and the Facebook group. But all the content, all the lessons are yours for life. We'll never take it away from you.
Thank you, Callie.
Sometimes you have to just hear things like 60 times. And so they say human brains have to hear things 60 times for
Oh,
it to
true.
stick.
We're going through this so quickly because it's also
Yeah,
Friday, guys. I know that a lot of you
Yes.
guys joined us today and carved out time for us, and you have other things going on today, so we wanted to get through this quickly, but we are making time for Q&A right now. So Terry, thank you for answering that question. Terry also explained it in writing for you all, the difference between the 3-month payment plan and the one-time pay in full. Both are discounted, to be clear. Mildred is trying to join, and she has nowhere to put her credit card info, only her name and email. Okay, Mildred, first of all, we will definitely get you squared away, and we're really happy you're joining us. If you guys are having any problems with the checkout page, then what we can do is
Maybe Mallory, you could walk them through, just share your screen on it, pull it up,
Good
just to
call.
kind of show them where it is. Maybe that could be helpful right now.
Okay, I'm doing it. You're right, Callie. Good call. So I'm going to go ahead and open the checkout page, and I want to show you guys what you do to enroll. Okay, so my page is still loading, but this is what that checkout page looks like. Huh. This is taking a minute to load, okay? And it's probably because I'm live streaming and my internet connection is not the greatest. But right here, there should be an order form. Kelly, do you want to test it? Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is what you do. So for Mildred and anyone else, there's 2 steps. So first you enter your name, your first name, your last name, and your email address. And please be certain that you type your email address correctly, because this is how we deliver the program to you. And if there's a typo in your email address, you're not going to get the program until we fix it for you, which could, it's sometimes people don't realize that they do that. So be sure to type your email address correctly. You can check out or read the terms of use if you'd like. You're going to select this box. This question here is asking, is your name on Facebook different from your name listed above? If your name listed above, your first and last name, is the same as your Facebook name, then just type no here. And if it's different, then please enter your Facebook name here. We need to know so that we can approve you into the Facebook group, so you can join the Facebook group if your name is different than what the name you used to purchase the program, okay? So just type yes or no and put your Facebook name here if it's different. And then you're going to select whether you want to do the one-time payment or the 3-month payment plan, okay? And then you're going to go to step 2. And then step 2, Mildred, is where you enter your credit card information, and then there will be another button to submit your order. And then you get immediate access. The next screen after you submit your order is a confirmation saying, yay, you joined the program, check your email, and you will have an email from us within usually 2 minutes inviting you into the Facebook group and the membership site and everything. So it gets you immediate access to everything. So does anyone have questions about how the Facebook or the order form works? Was that clear?
Very clear.
Okay.
I think it was great that we walked through it. And Janet wants to know, are there nutrients that we miss with this plan? Are supplements needed? Do you want to speak to that, Mallory?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I'm going to pull up my FAQs because that's one of them. No, supplements are not required, you guys. And there's no need to eat the foods that we are limiting or avoiding. We can get all the micronutrients, the vitamins and minerals and fiber that we need through the way that we're going to teach you to eat. So you're not at risk of nutrient deficiencies. In fact, we actually see a lot of members. The most common nutrient deficiencies are usually like iron deficiency and B12
These,
deficiency.
yep.
And it's usually because people are avoiding animal source protein, right? And not getting enough protein in general. And so those are like non-issues on this plan.
Dylan is saying, Dylan or Dylan, I'm sorry if I mess up your name. The order form is not showing up for me. Dylan, try refreshing the page, copying and pasting the link. Just try it again and keep us updated.
Right. And the other thing you can do, guys, and I know you don't want to like do this while we're on live right now, but you can sometimes what happens is if you clear the cache, cookies, and history on your internet browser, you clear out your history and everything on your internet browser, then these pages will refresh and work properly. So sometimes that's the fix. So maybe you want to copy and paste that link and put it somewhere safe, like email it to yourself right now so that you have it. And then when we get off this training, you can clear out your internet browser to get it to work for you.
Welcome to Beth, who gave it to herself as a birthday gift.
Oh,
Beth, that's the best gift to yourself possible, putting your health first. And welcome to Steve, who says, now a member. Welcome to the Type 2 transformation, y'all. We're so honored to have you.
Yes, we really are. Awesome, you guys. We're just so excited. And let's see. I saw someone asking, did I get the bonus month? Yes. If you enroll right now, the bonus month is automatically applied. I've got the order form set up so that the discount and the bonus month are automatically applied to your account if you enroll right now. Still not working, Delyn. Okay, Delyn, copy and paste that link and then email it to yourself is what I suggest if you can. And then clear out the history and cache and cookies on your internet browser and try again. The other way you could do it is maybe sending that link to yourself, like opening it on a different device. So maybe opening it from a cell phone instead of your computer and enrolling there. Kathleen just joined us. Welcome, Kathleen. I'm going to keep working through the frequently asked questions. And I saw someone ask, are we just asking questions about the program? Yes, the FAQs right now are dedicated to answering questions for those of you who are interested in joining us, but you just have another question to get you off the fence. Pamela joined us. Yay. And Pamela got her welcome email. Perfect, Pamela. I'm glad you checked that out. So yes, when you enroll, you'll get a welcome email a minute or two after enrolling. So you get immediate access. Pamela will be approving your request to join the Facebook group, and we're really excited to introduce you to everybody. Can we get a letter of medical necessity? Yes, Johnny. If you email us, just reply to any of our emails from this week and say, hey, I need a letter of medical necessity. To be clear, what we give you is not a letter of medical necessity. It's a letter for your doctor. It's a letter from me requesting your doctor to write you a letter of medical necessity. And I understand your doctor probably needs a little bit more information about who this woman that you met on Facebook is. So we give your doctor more information about the program and our success rates and all of that. Diane got her welcome email. Yay. Thank you, Diane. And if you don't see your welcome email after you join, check your promo, spam, and junk folders, okay? Tanya asked, what are the next steps for those of us who have joined? You're going to send it's all outlined in your welcome email, but for starters, send that request into the Facebook group. We want to invite you, or we want to introduce you to everybody. Everybody's like really excited to meet you all. Okay, you don't need a letter of medical necessity, Lori. That's for those of you who have the FSA or HSA accounts, which are health spendings accounts from your employers. And sometimes they require a letter of medical necessity. But most of you do not. 95+% of you guys do not need that. Okay, so I'm going to open up the floor for questions. I have them pulled up on my screen here. So we'll kind of go through like this. Okay. So I have people ask often. I've had diabetes for 20 years. Callie, please interrupt me at any time if you see a question that's more urgent coming in. I've had diabetes for 20 years. Will this work for me? Resounding yes. We've worked with lots of people who have been suffering with diabetes for over 20 years, like Pat, who we talked about today, 29 years. She's now maintained an A1C between 5.6 and 5.9 for over 2 years with us and has gotten off 5 medications. A lot of people say, I also have high cholesterol or high blood pressure or both? Is this safe for me? Yes, this is absolutely safe and beneficial to you. As we learned this week, just like there's a lot of misinformation about what people should be doing when they've got high blood sugar and diabetes, there's a lot of misinformation about how people should be eating for high cholesterol and high blood pressure. The truth is, it's all caused by it. These all share the same root cause. This is why we see almost everybody with type 2 diabetes has high blood pressure and high cholesterol or wacky cholesterol. We almost always see these things go hand in hand because they share the same root cause and they share the same solution. We see really great improvements in people's blood pressure and cholesterol on this plan, despite eating more cholesterol rich foods like red meat, egg yolks, shellfish, and butter. Okay. And we also see really big improvements in high blood pressure despite not watching our salt or sodium intake. So we talked a lot about that in day 4. If you want to go back and watch the day 4 replay, I talked about that a lot yesterday. Another common question is, how is this different from keto? So we do not consider this a keto diet or a keto plan. If you want to be technical, a keto diet by definition is high fat, moderate protein, low carb. So, are there some similarities? Yes, we are a low carb plan, but we are not quantifying your protein or fat intake. And yeah, we're certainly not telling you that you need to eat a high fat diet to follow this plan. I'm just trying to get my screen adjusted here for you guys. Okay. Can I make this work if I'm vegan, vegetarian, or plant-based? I do want to be clear that if you are strict vegan and you're unwilling or unable to include some sort of animal protein with your meals, then no, this won't be a suitable program for you. If you are someone who's willing to incorporate some sort of animal protein, whether that's eggs or chicken or seafood, then we can definitely make this work for you. And we've done that for quite a few people. To be clear, you don't have to eat anything you don't like. And sometimes we get people who say, I'm really uncomfortable about eating red meat because my doctor has just told me my cholesterol is so high and I shouldn't be doing that. And to that we say, you don't have to eat red meat. Then you can focus on chicken and poultry and seafood and whatever you're comfortable with. And you don't have to eat anything you don't like. We have members who don't like seafood. We have members who don't eat pork for religious reasons. We have members who don't eat red meat because they're afraid of it. And you don't have to eat anything you're not comfortable with. We want to be really, really clear about that this is very customizable. Other people say my A1C is really high, like off the charts. Is this going to work for me? And to that, my answer is always, I actually love working with the people with the highest A1Cs because it is so fun to see someone take an A1C of 12.5 and slash it in half in 3 months. So yes, we would absolutely love to work with those of you who are experiencing really high A1C levels, as well as those of you who are just pre-diabetic, because this is the perfect approach for you as well.
Mallory, people are asking some questions. Remember, John had an A1C coming in of 12.3. He's now 5.4. So yeah, it's like really fun to see that happen because the higher you are, the more you have to come down, and the quicker it happens when you're committed. But people are saying, how much does the program cost after these initial 4 months, with the 4th month being free? Or what are months 4 and 5 costs if they want to stay on? Do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, we offer members after you've joined the program and your time, you've graduated from the program, we offer a monthly membership for $79 a month, and we've got like 150 people doing that right now. And it's a great way, and it's not required. Again, guys, my promise to you is that you have all the information you need by the end of our 12 weeks together to do this on your own. Okay. So this is for people who really love hopping on the Zoom calls and having access to the Facebook group and are really using the accountability and the support system that's available to them. So just $79 a month. You can cancel anytime if you want to extend your time in the program, or you feel like you fell behind at any point. That gets you continued access to the Facebook group and all those Zoom calls. Plus, it actually includes some alumni-specific resources too. But to be clear, that's only available to graduates of the program. Obviously, it's not something we offer to non-clients. This is for people who we've been working with and joined and made that initial investment. And for them, we really like to pass along a great savings and a great value because, again, we love working with them, and they're an asset to the community as well. And so many of those graduates are the ones supporting you guys also in the chat right now. So did that answer that, Callie, you think? Okay.
Yes, you nailed it. You nailed it. Thank you, Mallory.
Okay. A lot of people are really concerned about the weight loss, and they're saying, well, I lose weight if I'm not watching my calories or portions. I really would encourage you guys. I mean, I hope that we've gained your trust, but yes, we expect weight loss. We don't consider this a weight loss program, but I will say that we expect our members to lose weight. Weight loss varies from person to person. Like I said earlier, Pat started with 8 pounds of weight loss in her first 12 weeks, and now she's well over 50 pounds down. So weight loss is dependent on a lot of factors. But yeah, we absolutely expect you to lose weight on this plan, and we do not want you tracking calories, and we do not want you eating little portions. We want you filling up at meal times, just like we've taught you this week. One question is, what if I'm underweight or I don't want to lose any more weight? So if your goal is to lower your blood sugar and A1C, but you're concerned about your body weight, you don't want to lose any more weight. So the connection between insulin resistance and obesity and weight gain is really there's a close correlation there. Most people with insulin resistance have some weight they'd like to lose, but that's not everybody. There are people, we do have members who are at a really healthy body composition, a really healthy body weight, who are dealing with high blood sugar and a high A1C. And for them, we modify the program just a teeny tiny bit for them. We make these little tiny modifications so that they can maintain their body weight and still reverse the insulin resistance. So just know that that is a possibility for those of you in that category. And we do have, for example, John and Terry both in the Facebook chat right now. John and Terry, if you want to say hi, so people know who you are, but both of them have gotten to a place where they've lost all the weight that they wanted to lose, and now they're in maintenance phase. And so we've been able to help them navigate how to maintain their current body weight without losing excessive amount of weight, but still keeping their A1C down, right? Another question is, do I have to test my blood sugar? No, you actually don't. Obviously, we recommend testing your blood sugar at least sometimes because it's more data. And we don't, otherwise what happens is you're going into your 3-month A1C checkups kind of in the dark, and you don't really know what kind of progress you've made. But the truth is, we've also had plenty of people join the program, graduate from the program, and knock it out of the park at their next A1C checkup, and they don't do the finger pricks or the CGM. So it's not a requirement. Callie, anything that you feel?
A couple of times, people concerned about the fat intake, concerned about their lipids, concerned about their liver. How you want to handle that one?
Yeah, I definitely feel free to share your thoughts on that.
So the food we eat only contains about 1/35 of the total cholesterol circulating around in our bloodstream right now in our bodies. The other 34/35 are produced by your liver. So a toxic, sludge down liver that is handling high insulin and glucose levels nonstop, having to shuttle away and store glucose excessively, is going to be a liver that looks like a fatty liver, an NAFLD, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. When you've done what we've learned with Mallory, and even more in our program, when you keep insulin low and therefore glucose low, the liver gets a break. She starts to come back to life. And so the concern about what we eat affecting our cholesterol levels is more about the health of our liver, and the health of our liver, because the liver is what produces that 34/35. And the health of the liver comes from, is it having to take on glucose all day long and store it and find spots for it and handle it? And so you saw Pat reverse her NAFLD, Laura reversed her NAFLD. Pam is not on here. She's one of our members. Pam, wow. I mean, she's having to slow down her weight loss. Her doctors are like, stop losing weight because, too rapidly, because she has a lot to lose. She went from stage 4 to stage 1 or 2. She also had chronic kidney disease. She's had chronic kidney disease. It's reversed. Her doctors are shocked. They told her not to do this. She went for it. She's a very tough cookie. You'll get to know her if you join the program, Pam. And so it's not a concern for us because the greatest risk factor for cardiovascular disease is insulin resistance.
Mhm.
You're going to hear that over and over again. Root cause, root cause, root cause, insulin resistance. Okay, I'm going on a soapbox. I'll be quiet
No,
now.
it's
Oh, and
helpful.
Katrina says, no more fatty liver for me as well. Katrina's lost over 100 pounds. She's our amazing girl in Alaska. Showed us pictures of moose this morning on the road with her. It was incredible on our Zoom. And off of insulin, yeah, life transformed as well.
Yes, thank you, Callie. Yeah, I think that that's the hardest objection we get is those of you who are really there's a lot of fear mongering around cholesterol, right? And I'm telling you guys, there is a reason we see type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol go hand in hand. They do not require two different diets. They require the same diet and lifestyle changes. So I'm actually going to read through this FAQ, okay? So having type 2 diabetes, like Callie said, having insulin resistance is the number one risk factor for heart disease, not high LDL cholesterol. It's having type 2 diabetes is the number one risk factor. 49% of people who have a heart attack or stroke have normal LDL levels, normal cholesterol levels. That's not the correlation. The strongest correlation is having diabetes, okay, which we're reversing and therefore reducing your risk of heart disease. By repairing your blood sugar and A1C, you are making huge progress to preventing your risk of heart attack and stroke. Just like there's a lot of misinformation about what we should eat to lower our blood sugar, there's a lot of misinformation about what we should eat to lower our cholesterol. Like Callie said, um, only 1/35 of the cholesterol floating around in our bloodstream is coming from the foods that we eat, and the rest of it is coming from our liver. This is why you can see someone who's a strict vegan, right? They don't eat any dietary source of cholesterol. There's no cholesterol in plant-based foods. You can take a see high cholesterol in a vegan or vegetarian. How do we explain that? They're not consuming any cholesterol, right? They're not consuming butter or red meat or shellfish or egg yolks. Most everyone we work with inside the program sees a reduction in their triglycerides, which is a risk factor for heart disease, and improvements in their cholesterol ratios by the end of our time together, despite eating cholesterol rich foods, which again, you can avoid if you're really not comfortable with it. In fact, many members reduce or discontinue their blood pressure medications midway through the program, and many others reduce or discontinue their statins as their cholesterol improves. So again, it's repairing your blood sugar and A1C is huge progress towards reducing your risk of heart attack and stroke. Okay, so we don't want you doing anything you're not comfortable with. But again, we've had members who say, I'm really not comfortable eating red meat and butter. And we say, okay, have poultry and seafood and use avocado oil instead of butter. And you can absolutely be satiated and satisfied and healthy and get really good results. But I will also say that those same members most often eventually come around and they go, okay, I'm ready for a steak now because I see everything is improving in the right direction.
Had a really good question come in from, I want to find it again, Catherine. Fasting blood sugar is 102, A1C is 5.9. She's got 25 pounds to lose. Is this program for me? Catherine, absolutely.
Yeah.
You are in the pre-diabetic range. You have weight to lose, which means your insulin is high, right? John likes to say this quote. I think it's from one of these really interesting books we've been, going through together called The Unholy Trinity. You can check it out. That says, look down at your stomach. If you have a stomach, you have insulin resistance. So if you've got extra weight to lose, you've got insulin resistance. And our program is all about insulin resistance because that's what type 2 diabetes is and getting you insulin sensitive. So yes, Catherine, join us.
Yeah.
We can get you below that 5.7.
Right, exactly. And I want to be clear too that by the time your A1C is over 5.7, like Callie said, your insulin levels have been climbing. You have hyperinsulinemia and you've been developing insulin resistance for years. This has been unchecked, left unchecked for years. Okay, so absolutely, this program is for you, for anyone whose A1C is over 5.7, 5.7 and higher, and even for those who are just creeping up towards that. Again, I mean, to be completely transparent, Callie, Tiana, and I also follow a lot of what we teach in this program. This is suitable for anybody, or pretty much anybody. And certainly those of you who have the strong family history or the pre-diabetes diagnosis, or if you know that your blood sugar and your A1C are creeping up at all. Do I need to buy anything special? No, you do not need to buy anything special. We're not going to give you meal plans. We are teaching you what to eat, and everybody's got their own preferences and their own budgets and their own foods and ingredients that are available to them. And so you can absolutely just take our guidelines and put your own spin on it using ingredients and flavors that you enjoy. Um, the supplements are not required, okay? Supplements are not a required part of the program at all. I would say 90% of our members don't take any supplements at all. You're going to get the most, you're going to make the most progress from the strategies that we teach you. Supplements are meant to supplement a healthy lifestyle. They're meant to supplement and fill in nutritional gaps, and we do use them, but they're not a requirement. One thing I offer our members is if they want um, a custom supplement protocol, I will write that up. Sometimes we recommend things like ox bile supplement for those who have had their gallbladders removed. So once in a while, you might hear us mention things like that, but it's very targeted and very specific to the individual, and these are not required.
Antoinette says, are these numbers lowered without meds? Do we continue taking them while on the program? Antoinette, most of our members reduce or get off medications with these numbers, yes. But no, we cannot tell you to get off your medications. We're not doctors. And when you start to get the lows that become, and they're hanging low, that's the time we'll encourage you, if you share that with us, to start speaking to your doctor and taking action, because we definitely don't want you to have dangerous lows. But, you know, a lot of our members quickly get off or lower insulin, quickly get off or lower their glipizide or glyburide. There's so many different names for all these ones. The Mounjaros, the Jardiances. I'd say the medication, and you can speak to this more, Mallory, that we price to get off the least last is metformin. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't increase insulin. So that's probably the last medication to come off, but it happens all the times too as well with our program, or at least it's reduced.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to be clear, I have that as one of my FAQs, so it's perfect that you asked that. The question is, do I continue taking my medications while I'm working with you guys, and how do I know when to stop? So like Callie said, we're not doctors. We cannot give medical advice. But generally, we say our answer is when your numbers dictate it's time to do so, right? When you start experiencing low blood sugar, that's a sign that you're over medicated. That what we have done is so effective at lowering your blood sugar that now the amount of medication you're on is too much. That's a telltale sign that it's time to get off of the medication. So that's when you talk to your doctor. So what I have written here is that because the type 2 transformation program is so effective at lowering blood sugar levels, you may need to have your medications adjusted during your time in the program. Hypoglycemia or low blood sugar often indicates that it's time to reduce or discontinue some of your medications, which is very exciting. However, we cannot give medical advice, so you should speak with your doctor about reducing or stopping your meds as soon as you experience any low blood sugar readings or notice your blood sugar has dropped significantly. And we see this all the time. Just like Callie said, especially if you're on insulin, most people on insulin have to already cut back their insulin like within the first week. And then with glipizide, glimepiride, glyburide, like some of these other really heavy duty meds need to be reduced really early on. And we do provide some guidance around how to handle those low blood sugar readings in the moment. But again, eating carbs to treat those lows is necessary in that moment, but that is not a long-term solution. This is not your body saying, I need more carbs. This is your body screaming that, hey, I no longer need these medications. So that's how
right.
Our clients are getting off meds.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pat's here. She's one of the members we showed who's been with us for over 2 years. Off Trulicity, Actos, and cut my insulin from 140 plus. So I did describe it well, to an average of 43 units a day. So it's incredible what you can what can happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pat, we shared your story.
I'm sure you maintained it. And this is not a short-term thing. 3 months and you're back. No, she's maintained it for over 2 years.
Right. Let me know if there's other questions coming in that I should answer. Otherwise, I can just keep going through these. Members who say, people who say, what if I'm picky or I have food allergies? Again, this is customizable. We don't want you eating anything you don't like. We want you enjoying every single thing you put in your mouth. So we are, if you have food, and everybody has different dietary preferences. Again, we've got clients all over the US. So we've got different cultures. So it's not a problem. And if you're someone who's picky, most often I find people who consider themselves picky are people who don't really love vegetables. Katrina is a perfect example. She lives up in Alaska. Produce up there, fruits and vegetables up there are not that great. And so Katrina doesn't really love fruits and vegetables. But she's done, again, she's lost over 100 pounds on this program and done really, really well and reduced her medications. And, um, you know, actually, the people who are, quote, picky, who are picky in the sense that they don't like vegetables, can do really well on this program because they get to emphasize the animal protein, which is really healthy. And if anything, I would actually prefer to see that than having people go the plant-based vegan or vegetarian route. So
Trina just shared she went off insulin about 30 days, and she made a really funny comment before. And it means I don't have to eat mushrooms if I don't want to. So if there's a vegetable you don't like, we're not your mom. We're not going to make you eat it. You get to make it work for you.
Yeah.
And she goes, it's all about the meat. Yes, it is.
It is. Yeah, it really is. It makes a big difference. It's going to get the needle moving in the right direction for sure. What time are the coaching calls on Zoom? Like I said earlier, variety of time, Monday through Friday. It's either Callie or I hosting a Zoom call. They're an hour long, optional. You can hop on late, you can leave early. You don't have to come on. Replays are available in the Facebook group, so you can always catch the replays later if you're interested in hearing what was discussed on the Zoom call. We have really sweet members who actually take notes and write up a synopsis after every single one of our Zoom calls. And that's for the people who can't attend. So you can kind of read through the synopsis and decide, hey, that sounds like an interesting call. I'd like to watch that replay and go find it. But the group coaching calls, we have morning calls, evening calls, and afternoon calls. So a whole variety. What is the time commitment? I would say it's pretty minimal. I'll say the first week, there's a lot to cover. And so probably expect to spend a few hours the first week logging into the membership site and working your way through the lessons and maybe printing out some of the handouts and getting clear on what we're asking you to do. But moving forward, it really tapers down to the point where most weeks you might have 20 minutes for a whole week. 1 20-minute lesson to listen to, get clear on what I'm asking you to do, and then go put it into practice. And then you can, access the Facebook group or hop on a Zoom call if you have any questions or wins or anything along the way. How long does it take to get results? What should I expect? So again, within 1 to 2 weeks, most people report lower blood sugar readings. Within a month, many people report weight loss and start seeing improvements in their symptoms like reduced inflammation, more energy, better sleep, less hunger, fewer cravings, improved vision. We've had people say, wow, my vision's more clear, less neuropathy, things like that. And it's not uncommon for people to have their blood sugar and or blood pressure medications reduced or discontinued midway through the program. But by the end of 3 to 4 months, again, over 99% of people report a lower A1C. So that's just putting some realistic expectations out there for you. And then we talked about what happens after the 12 weeks. You'll be invited to renew your membership if you would like, but really after the 12 weeks, you have all the information and tools that you need to continue succeeding on your own with or without us. So Callie, any other questions coming in that we should touch?
No, people are saying we even host our calls on holidays. We had a call on January 1st. So we started the new year together in a really positive way in our community. Yeah, it's 5 days a week that you get access to anything you want to talk about. We don't have an agenda. Y'all show up and set the agenda for us, and we go down topics and we dive deep into things, leptin resistance and castor oil and all these funny and interesting and cool topics and what it does for blood sugar. But maybe if you're still hesitant or you have like one last thing that you're like, that's holding you back, if you feel comfortable, drop it in the chat. We'd love to address it. If, there's one last thing that's blocking you from making that final purchase, talk to us, because we're here and we want to get you in. And we, like Mallory said, we want you to achieve the goals of your wildest dreams for your health, because it's truly possible.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. So yes, this is kind of your last call, guys, to get your questions answered. And I know that a lot of you have already joined us. We're so excited to have you. If you're still on the fence and you have one more question, go ahead and please type it in the chat right now. We'd love to hear from you and get you off the fence and get you the results that you're looking for. Thank you, Lori. Lori said someone asked about making the payment on 2 different cards. I don't think that that's an option. I'm so sorry to say that. I'm just trying to think logistically how I could even do that. And it's just, I'm not that tech savvy. So if you can make the payment on one credit card, that's the way to go. And then maybe if you're splitting the cost with somebody, if someone's gifting you half of the program or something like that, then maybe you just reimburse each other. Let's see. Thank you for both.
Oh,
Today.
Deline got in. Deline got in finally. Hey, Deline. Sorry, we said your name so incorrectly. I said it so many times. I'm sorry.
Deline.
Jill says the price is my only holdback. We get it. It's an investment. But you're worth it. Your health is worth it. And what is it going to cost you if you don't turn this around now? Financially, physically, emotionally, all of the reasons before. It's like we have one life partner. It's our bodies. It's our responsibility only. And we really would love to hold your hand and support you, guide you, meet you where you are on your journey, because we know it. We've seen it's possible time in and time out.
Yep. I saw another question.
Yeah, it was Catherine. If I join over the weekend and do not get the 4th month, am I missing any program info? Why don't you speak to that, Mallory?
Yeah, no, actually, that's perfect. That's a great question, Catherine. No, there's no actual content for the 4th month of the program. It is a 12-week program. So you get access to the 12 weeks. And then the 4th month is just you get continued access to the community, to your coaches, your peers, the whole shebang. So no, you're not, if you don't get the 4th bonus month, that second bonus that's available today, you don't miss anything. So again, guys, what's on the table here, I want to be really clear that what we've got here for you, we got these 2 options for enrolling. Right now, again, we're going to end this live in just a couple minutes because we've been on here for an hour 40 minutes now. And I'm sure Callie has to pee as bad as I do because we've been chugging water.
I turned my camera off and I already went. So I feel I'm okay, but you're probably dying.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. So we've got 2 options. If you enroll today, you get both bonuses if you enroll in the next literally probably 2 minutes while we're wrapping up here. So you can save the $150 off and you get that bonus month if you enroll right now before we end this Facebook Live. This is truly your last chance to do that. If you want to wait and enroll later this weekend, that $150 bonus is available until Tuesday at midnight. And we will send out emails this weekend with the link. And we'll send out emails today with the link to enroll with the $150 discount. Okay. So you can still enroll with the discount at the discounted price until Tuesday at midnight. But if you want the bonus month, which is a really juicy bonus, and the discount, you've got to enroll. Click that link right now because we're about to wrap up here. And then I really want to be clear, you can enroll on a 3-month payment plan. So you can get enrolled and get access to everything today for your first payment of $483, so under $500. Or even better, you can enroll for a one-time payment of $1,249. So the $483 is a 3-month payment plan. Your first payment would be today. Then on a month from today, so September 2nd would be your second payment. And September, October, I got to think how the months go. October 2nd would be your last payment. And if you enroll right now, you get a 4th month for free. You're not getting charged. So that's how the 3-month payment plan works. Or you save even a little bit more money if you do the math on that, and you can enroll right now for $1,249, just a one-time payment, and then we're not going to charge you anymore. So again, this is your last chance to enroll at the discounted price with the bonus month, and then you have until Tuesday at midnight to enroll with the discounted price.
Karen, the price automatically discounts. You may not see it, but it will automatically do it. And if for some reason it doesn't, just email us and we'll ameliorate that right away for you. We know you're trying to buy it right now. Karen Lesser Barrett, it's in our brain. We got you. but
Okay.
it automatically takes away the 150 and you'll automatically get 16 weeks
Mhm.
for a 12-week technical program.
Yeah, and it should say on the order form, if there's something weird happening for you, Karen, on your order form. But when you go down here, it should say 1249 or 483. And if it's saying
Yeah.
the full price for you, Karen, then email us and we will make sure that we honor the discounted price for you. So don't check out if it doesn't say, if it says something different, but for the rest of us, it's working properly and it's showing the discounted price here. Um, Okay, Karen said thanks. Okay, good. All right, guys, I think we're going to call it here. We absolutely enjoyed spending the whole week with you. We're so excited to welcome dozens of you into the community and introduce you guys to, um, honestly, like the most special community I know of for type 2 diabetes. It's really, really great. And any final thoughts, Callie?
I just want to read what Beth said. Kelly was interacting with her. We love you, Kelly. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kelly. I finally got myself in. I was literally in tears, so I knew I was in the right place. I'm all good now, so relieved and beyond excited. Beth, we're so excited you're joining us. We're so excited all of you did. Mildred's in now. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Mildred. What a blessing to invest in your health. There's no greater gift. So yeah, no, we're honored, we're excited, we're ready to guide you and meet you where you are. It feels like a big step, but after a little bit, that big step just feels like a normal everyday step. And we're just ready to support you. You have a whole over 315 other current members ready. You've got Tiana, Mallory, and myself, and it's a true honor to be here doing this with you. And we're just so excited.
Thank you, Callie. You said it so well. We are going to wrap it up, but you guys, it's been an absolute honor hanging out with you guys this week. We're also really excited for those of you who didn't join because you have a lot of information now to move forward and to succeed. But those of you who are going to continue working with us, we just can't wait to get to know you better. And there's going to be a lot more happy tears and celebrations and so much good stuff coming over our next 4 months together for those of you who